They can't mind their business, but you can. That's why it's so easy to tell who's not and being weird. There are a lot of people who don't seem to be able to mind their business, and some of them will even go as far as flipping a script and try to act like you're minding their business once you catch them and you're on to them, because now you're taking your attention off of what you were doing to get this person either out of your face, or to get them to mind their business, or to just get them to focus on themselves. And the amount of times that it's happened to you already is easy to tell. It's easy to deal with. It's nothing that you can't figure out. It's simple. It's like, okay, I could clearly see what you're up to. And the thing that dawns on me is, I guess people don't mind getting knocked out. These types of things will get you knocked out. People knock people out over these types of things every day. So they're playing a risky game. They're playing a risky game. They are adrenaline junkies. They like the rush, and they like how it feels to poke the bear, to bother someone who they know would rip their face off. And sometimes you just feel like ripping a person's face off. Sometimes you just feel like getting animalistic, because you got to think about it. When you look at animals out in the wild, you can't get near an animal without its back, getting raised, its hair standing up on its neck, its claws coming out of its paws, or its hands, or its fangs showing. They start to show their teeth and growl and all that. You can't get too close to an animal without its survival instinct kicking in. And as a living creature, even as a person, you have those too. So when people get too close to you, there's certain rights that you not only that you have, but that you can implement. And it's as simple as just telling the person to get out the way, or to leave you alone, or to get out your face. And when these people don't listen, they act like they don't hear you, or they get close enough to where it's like weird and uncomfortable, but they act like they're not really doing anything. Most of the time, it's best to just get up and move. It's best to just get up and move, walk away, go to a different location, because they're trying to get you to possibly hit them so they could call the police, or they're possibly trying to get you to do something. Who knows? They might have somebody waiting in a car over there. It might be a setup. It's good to think these things through, and basically save any violent activities or violent actions for self-defense. Don't randomly just get violent unless you have to. Don't get violent unless you have to. Save that for self-defense. It's not worth getting violent just because you can, or just because you feel that you should. Sometimes you got to hold back on that. Sometimes you may have to behave a certain way, but if you can hold back on it and you don't have to behave that way, then don't. Sometimes I know you really want to, because at times I really want to. Sometimes you just want to. Sometimes you just want to handle something how you want to handle it, but save that for when you actually need to, because otherwise it's a waste of energy. It's no point. It's a waste of time. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself or the situation. It may feel good, but it's like if it's unnecessary, you'll just be like, why did I even, why did I do that type thing. But trust and believe, it'll probably feel real good, but still, you don't want to do stuff like that. Especially if it's no point, if it's non-threatening, save it for things where you have to defend yourself if there is an actual threat. But what is probably being threatened is your peace. It's like, yo, why are you threatening my peace? And that makes you want to do it to them just off the fact of that, because it's like, I'm not bothering you. I'm not bothering you. I'm leaving you alone. I'm leaving you be. Why can't you do the same thing? Some people are just weird. Some people are weird. They want to get near you, or get up in your energy field, or just be cringy and awkward. And they know what they're doing. They know that they're evil, but it's like they'll play with fire. All right, they'll play with fire. They won't necessarily put their hand long enough to get burnt, or they won't do anything that would warrant an actual beat down. But they'll get close enough to trying to upset you, or irritate you to make you feel like that's what you want to do. At that point, it's just good to not pay them any mind, and it's probably good to just get away from them, because you don't know what that person is up to. If somebody is focused on you and they're focused on you, you don't have to stick around for that. All you're going to do is get upset. All you're doing is putting yourself in a situation to just further get upset. Somebody's being weird around you, they're doing something that you don't like, get away. Especially if they're a coward and they're a punk and they're not doing anything about it. You don't want to sit around someone like that. A coward like that could possibly try and do something when you're not looking, or could possibly try to sneak attack, like the coward that they are. And it's not intelligent to stay around something like that. It's not intelligent to think, to sleep on something like that, to think it's sweet just because you could handle someone or rip their face off. Still get away from that person. Even if you could rip their face off 50 times, everybody's capable of something, and God forbid you don't need anything happening to you. So because somebody else is inflicted with a demonic level of insecurities that they don't know how to handle or control or manage, so they just become a full-blown devil. You don't need to be around that. And you also don't need people triggering your demons and trying to bring certain things out of you, certain sides out of you, certain behaviors out of you. And it makes you feel like and this is what they do. They try to get you based off of you feeling some type of way, or these glasses crooked as hell. They're trying to get you to they're trying to draw you in and suck you into their lifestyle, which is full of probably loneliness, negativity, self-hatred, the whole nine, everything you could possibly think of. These people are suffering, and misery loves company. They want somebody to suffer with them. They need you to be suffering with them. They're unhappy, and they want to go spread that unhappiness throughout the world. And they find people who mind their business. They find someone who they see is a source of abundance, of good things, and they want to try to impregnate that person's mind, or infect that person's mind with bad things and negativity and all of the sorts. So if you're a person that can pick up on energy, then you want to be around good energy. You don't want to be around toxic, negative energy, even if it's the type of energy that you only have to experience for a short while. So with that being said, there's all different types of energy around, and depending on who you are and depending on the type of people that are around you, there are people who will try to infect you with that negative energy in several ways. All right, people see you, and then they decide to do the things that they do when they're around you. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go over near this person and be weird. Oh, okay, I'm going to go create some noise while I see this person is working on something. People do all types of weird stuff. And what I see is there's like levels of people that desperately need attention, and it's bad that they need attention that bad. Most of them aren't creative. You don't see them working on anything. You don't see them using their mind. You don't see them producing anything, making any projects. They're just lowlifes, and they have to use their time, and they have to use their time doing something. They have to use their mind doing something. But unfortunately, because the level of intelligence they have, which is next to none, they're unable to use it in a way that benefits them or anyone else. They just go around being the devil that they are, and running havoc on people who are trying to do the Lord's goodwill, and do some good things, and put some positive things out into the universe. So you have all types of people. You have people who mind their business, people who work, people who get things done, people who focus, people who have a purpose, and then you have those who aren't about any of those things at all. And they go around creating problems and issues for those who they see are on that type of path. And it bothers them because they don't have an idea of what to do with their own time, or what to do with their mind, or what to do with their path. And it goes to show you that some people who don't have anything else going on in their life, or anything else to do with their mind, it just goes to show you that God's not lying when he says idle mind is the devil's workshop. A lot of these people's minds are being worked by the devil because they probably thought it was corny to gravitate towards anything good or anything godly when they heard it. You're the type of person that all your life, or at some point in your life, it clicked, or maybe you just had a liking to it all along. You just never played it too hard because maybe you were too worried about what people thought or what they might think. But you don't care about what people think anymore. You're more focused on what God thinks about you, and you have to take that into consideration. Are you living your life for the world, or are you living your life for God? And I don't take that. I don't take that the way most people do, because a lot of people lose their mind with that. They stop listening to music and all this other stuff. And I understand there's certain things that you should entertain, certain things that you should do, and certain things that you shouldn't do. But more or less, it's about your character. And there are things that add to that. And you definitely want to do things that will allow you to be in a good mindset, a good character, a good headspace, and create a good character for yourself. But I don't agree with people going around condemning people for where they're at on their journey and all these types of things. That's none of my business. People, when they have an ear, they'll hear. Maybe it's not meant for them. Maybe they need to keep hearing it. But not to go off on a tangent on that, but the fact that you have something to do, that's a blessing. That's why you can't take your gift for granted, and you actually have to believe in yourself. If you don't, it's best you keep it real with yourself, whether you do or you don't. Because people who don't have anything going on for them, people who don't have the mind to gravitate towards good things, or positive things, or constructive things, or creative things, it's very scary out here to think about being one of those types of people. That scares the bejeebies out of me. All right, so that's definitely something that I would never want for myself or any of my subscribers, anybody watching this video, and especially anybody watching this video to the end of the video. I want the best for myself, most importantly, first and foremost, and for all of you as well. All right. And that's real. So I have to put out the best messages possible, and that's what I feel that I do. And I do that because I don't focus on other people, and I don't mind other people's business. I mind my own business, and I put a lot of time and effort into the things that I do. because that's what I like to do. If I was minding other people's business, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be so focused on others that I wouldn't be getting anything done. But I focus on myself, and I take that I take that very seriously. The focus that I put on myself. I don't have time to focus on anybody else. And I know you watching this video. You don't either. You don't have time to focus on anybody else. You only have time to do what you have to do throughout the day, and that's it. That's why these some of these people are well put together, probably depending on the amount of butt they kiss, and then a lot of these people they look like they're on their last leg. A lot of these people look like they're hurting out here. So it's noise. Yeah. So we got some people putting out some noise right now. Somebody's just trying to put their time to look at people minding their business and putting their time to good use. I love it. All right. Now that person is not making that awful noise that they were making over here, I could kind of migrate back over this way. But yeah. So basically the moral of the story is just to not be a negative Nancy or a nosy mug. Can't stand people who don't mind their own business. It's one of the easiest things to do. It's one of the best things to do. It's one of the most peaceful, calming, relaxing things to do. You can figure out a lot about yourself. You can learn a lot about yourself. You can figure out, where you want to go with your life, where you're going with your life, what you want to do with your life. It's just, you connect with God. That's how you know a lot of these people is evil out here and demonic. Who would want to ruin somebody else's peaceful connection? Because that's the first thing that pops up in my mind when I see somebody and they're minding their business and they're enjoying themselves. I'm like, they're on it. I'm like, that person's connecting. That person is having a moment with the Most High right there. That person is chilling, having a second with the Creator. Why would you want to interrupt that? I'd never want to interrupt that. That's just not my style. But it's apparently it's the style for a lot of others out there, and that they don't wear that style well. It looks awful on them. All right, it looks terrible on them, and it even stinks. So you definitely don't want to be somebody that's minding other people's business. And like I said, you want to get away from people like that. All right, don't hang around people who are causing negative energy to enter into you and make you mad and upset, because that's all they're doing. They're just making you mad and making you upset. You want them to go away. You want them to stop doing this thing that they're doing, and they're not, because they're a creep. They're weird. Somebody probably put them on to do that, or the spirit in them, or the amount of evil that they possess took over them and controlled them and made them do that. Or maybe they have some type of maybe with their phone is hooked up to one of these satellites, and they have they work for somebody who's telling them and directing them and pinpointing and telling them where to go and where they could find you at to come do these weird things. So definitely remove yourself from people like this. Get away. There's more positive energy. There's other places to go. There's other places to chill at. There's other places to be. There's other areas where you can go. All right. So when people come around you, immediately just move up from around them. There's no reason in hanging out or sticking around a person like that with that weird type of behavior, especially when it starts to making you feel like you got to defend yourself, or you got to keep your head on the swivel. Get away from people like that. Somebody comes around and it starts to get weird. You know what time it is. You know the difference between a normal interaction and one that's not normal. Don't stick around for the unnormal ones. Because a person that's interacting with you normal, it's just going to be them focused on what they're doing, them doing what they're trying to do, and them moving on and getting away. And it's always a power saw in the background, and isn't it? They use these electrical devices and things like that to make these noises to try to lower your frequency. All right, but there's a way and I've talked about it in countless videos, to be able to just tune that out. You could just act like you don't even hear it, and you could allow it to, just be like another background sound and not allow it to upset you. But they use those types of things to try to lower your frequency, try to interrupt your connection with the creator, and try to make your moment a little bit less peaceful than it could be. All right, but we're not going to let them contribute to that, because if it's not attributing to our peace, then it's peace out. We're peacing out from acknowledging it or paying attention to it or having our mind or our focus on it. So a lot of good things happening in this video here. We're doing a lot of good things. Shout out to everybody that's sticking around to the end. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. You're a good person, and you do attract good people. Don't allow these situations to make you think, all right, because that's another trick that they're possibly trying to do as well. Because through the law of attraction, if you continue to only think that these are the type of, if this is your first thought when you go out, instead of picking up, finding some money on the ground, or having a conversation with someone that could change your life, or meeting someone that has some opportunity for you that you've been looking for, or someone that can help you some type of way. If these people are able to affect your mind and have you worried about them, or thinking about them, or thinking this is the only thing you're going to experience when you go out, then your hypervigilant state that their activity puts you in is only going to cause you to either pay attention for these types of situations or to look for these types of situations, even though they're already happening already. These are the types of things where you go through the stage where, you're looking at everyone, thinking it could be everyone. And some of us, still kind of deal that way, not from a paranoid state, but just a better safe than sorry state. But still, even in that safe than sorry state, you want to still hope for the best, and still focus on the better things, and still know that there's all different types of people out here, not just them. There's still good experiences out here for you. There's still better experiences out here for you. You don't want your mind to be stuck on the fact that people are just weird, or focused on the weird things that people are doing. Things happen we have no control over. We have to put our focus on the thing that is best to put on. And most of the time, that's some money, some peace, some quiet, something good, something that suits you, serves you, something that helps you, something that makes you better, something that adds to you. You don't want to give any energy towards these demonic frequencies or these demonic spirits, all right? Because that's what they want. They have no focus, and they get a kick out of taking it away from those that do. They have nothing to do with their time but watch people who use theirs correctly, who use theirs the right way. All right, that's why they are trying to meddle, and that's why they're trying to sabotage, and that's why they're trying to get in your plans, and that's why they put all this focus and attention into you. They are here to interrupt or try to destroy the good that other people have in their lives. They're so bent out of shape and upset that they can't see either the good in their life, or know how to look for it, or to think it even exists. All right. These are people with a rock bottom mindset. These are people who willingly accept a negative mindset. These are people who think that things are over for them, or think that they can't change anything. And these are people who've lost their spark of life a long time ago, and seek out to destroy any spark that they see in anybody else. All right, and you can't let that happen. You can't let them destroy that spark of hope in you, even though even though you do your best to conceal it, that you still shine. So the fact that you still shine is going to attract, robbers, thieves, pirates, people who are trying to. I ain't gonna say it like that, but people who are trying to. I ain't even gonna say it like that. People who are trying to basically just ruin the good that you have. All right. Because I'm pretty sure nobody, well, we're not even going to take it there. But anyway, because what pirates go after. So I didn't want to say they're going after what the pirates go after. If anybody knows what I was talking about, put it in the comments below. I don't want anybody to be like, they're going after your booty. I hope not. All right. Anyway, or your jewels. All right. Or your goods. See where that was gonna go? That wasn't gonna go anywhere anywhere polite. All right. But that's just the comedy side coming out. But in all seriousness, stay the hell away from these people. Make sure they stay the hell away from you. Hit that like button, hit that share button. There's nothing wrong with moving over to a quiet space, even if you got to relocate and finding some peace and quiet and having a moment to yourself, by yourself, away from these weirdos, all right, that don't know how to mind their damn business. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep minding your business, and also keep hope alive. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and light. We out.